have been able to activate new revenue areas or new revenue lines. For instance, when we came on board, there was no purchase tax in Enugu State. We activated purchase tax because it was actually provided for in our laws, but it has never been activated all this while. We activated it, and revenue is coming in from there. Our capital gain tax on property, etc., we are dormant on adoption of property. We have activated it, and we are earning revenue there. We've also tried to expand the net of who pays our payee, pay as you earn, and withholding taxes. We've expanded it. We are now receiving revenue in those lines. So another area that was actually a big win for us is bulldozing into the informal sector. We are hitherto no revenue had come into the government in the informal sector, simply because some people say they were giving waivers, some people say they were compensated for voting in the past administration. Yes, the state made a provision of about 250 billion naira to come from internal generated revenue. So, but if you look at the internal generated revenue, some of the projections or the estimates is not all about taxes. There are taxes, there are non-tax revenues, there are realization from sale of dormant assets, which if you watch what is being collected, there are actually less what the state can do in terms of increasing tax. They don't actually have much of the powers to increase taxes, because the personal income tax is a federal law, and you don't have unilateral powers to increase it. The withholding tax is also a federal law. The capital gain tax is a federal law. The stamp duty tax is a federal law. What the state has power to do is the land use charge, which the state, instead of increasing it, reduce the rate. Yes, we reduce the rate because we are so much interested in covering wider net than restricting it to people and asking them to pay unrealistic and the amount they cannot pay. So we price the rate by less than half to ensure that people actually pay. So the only thing in our land use charge is that people who are seen to be the rich, who live in an area that are regarded as a highbrow or reserved area, has to pay exactly what is worth the value of the property, because land use charge is calibrated on the value of property. If you live in a zoo estate and it's residential, you are going to pay 266,000 naira. Informal sector, where you hear all sort of noise. I think what we did in informal sector is actually a penetration methodology, because we asked the market to pay 21,000 naira a year. This 21,000 naira will ask them to pay a year the tax they're supposed to pay, the summer levy, the local government storage, the business premise. You can imagine that. All of them consolidated and ask them to pay 21,000 naira. The challenge is that an average Igbo does not see tax payment as a contribution towards the building of the state. We have had a lot of sentiment analysis about tax. We have also had a lot of bad orientation about tax. Some people see tax as payment we give to the government official to go and chop. They are not seeing it as their own contribution to grow their economy. If you remember that even in the 60s, or in the coming of the Igbos into Nigeria, when you ask an Igbo man to pay tax, it's like you are removing blood from his system. And that is actually why the first riot we had in Nigeria was in Igbo land, in Aba, because they were asked to pay tax. You even come here and tell me, why not go to United Nations and ask them to give us money to the globe? Why not go to World Bank and ask them to give us money to the? Why not go to federal government to collect fact and develop the state? And I don't think anywhere in the world where you say that you ask somebody to pay 21,000 for a whole year to include tax and levies, and the person say you have killed them.